Okay, well, quick update. Today is New Year's. New Year's being, a really good day for us. So, 26 or 27 days now into the build from excavation to where we're at now. We've got the foundations are capped on both units. I've got the wraps completed, tars completed, gravels completed, everything. Everything's up to this point is good. We even had our inspection today for electrical and foundation. Both passed first time through. Awesome. Met with the inspector. A really nice guy. He walked me through. I had a couple questions about the multifamily aspect. There's a few different things from single family, at least just in how they structure them. So generally they're the exact same. So you get your fourth time foundation inspection. You've got your framing inspection, which is just your building inspection. You'll have your plumbing, your mechanical, and your electrical inspection. So the difference being that in the multifamily, you actually have your trades book these. So now, when I was building single family, all I would do is click, do my inspection, and all of them were booked together. So you had to group them all as one. You do your final inspection, so your framing inspection, and you've got all of your plumbing and all that kind of stuff. So my framing inspection will be like a building inspection as well. I'm just going to group them together, same as I would typically. So nothing changes on my end as far as how I would book things. Some things do change. So the things that I have to have uploaded to the permit pouch is just a term that we use now. Back when I started doing this kind of stuff 20 years ago, we had like a physical pouch that you go and you take your documents and you'd slide them into like a clear poly folder. And then it'd have your plans and have all the engineered letters and things like that. You keep it away in there, and then the inspector would come by. He'd do the inspection on the building. He'd actually sign off on it physically, and sometimes those would go missing, and that sucked. Or the worst, well, maybe not the worst, but it wasn't a great time, is when you sit there and you've got, it's winter, it's minus 30 outside, and it's blowing snow, but you have to go put it on a foundation somewhere. So you walk out and you just find like a really big rock and you set it on top of the foundation. And then it was like a game of, hide and seek for the inspectors. They'd show up and they'd be like, where did you put this thing? But anyways, so the reason I call it a permit pouch is because that's how things used to be done, and it was called a permit pouch. And now it's just more like an online folder. So I upload different documents for that than I would for, say, single family. Most of them are the same, but generally there's a couple different ones. These ones here, I've got sprinklers in them, so I'll have to include sprinkler stuff. When it gets to that point, right now there's no sprinkler details or anything like that, engineer letters that need to be done. But anyway, long and short, it is New Year's. It is a great way to end the New Year's. Everything passed. I couldn't have asked for a better set of circumstances to carry everything through. The trades have been phenomenal. I'm not going to say that I knew literally everything about the build. I knew, obviously tons about it. But there's different things that, there's little gaps of knowledge, just not building either the multifamily aspect or still translating over from just being a supervisor through to being the actual developer. So there's little things like nuances that you might not know. And you put a lot of weight onto your trade partners to give you a call when that time comes. And just so you can say like, hey, if there's an issue, please let me know. Like, I don't feel like it's going to be a bother, because it's actually something that clearly, I'm going to want to know. I want to know what it is. So if it's an issue, I can address it in the future, those kind of things. And we had the DSSP. It's got a resolution now. We're resolved. So the biggest issue with that was that I had no communication. As far as the company goes, they were really good at getting the work done. They did an excellent job. I was really impressed with the way that they did the excavation and then the DSSP and things like that. Unfortunately, their communication was really, really poor. Like, I didn't even know they were showing up to site when they first came. So, I had it scheduled, and then what I typically do is, maybe 1 week out from the start date, I give them a call. I say, hey, are we still on for that day? And they say, yeah, no, everything's looking good. I don't see any conflicts. And I go, great, that's perfect. Then I have, another follow-up maybe the day before or 2 days before they're supposed to show up on site. Go, hey, I just wanted to check in, make sure everything's all good. You do that with all the trades, and then, everybody is reminded, for one, that they have your job, even though, if they have schedules or whatever, it's reminded. And then all of a sudden, if something's happened that day for them, and especially on the ones that are getting closer, they go, oh, no, yeah, that's right, a machine broke, or this guy's sick. And they go, oh, you know what, Will, we can't do it that day. We got to push it off one day. Those kind of things happen all the time, but now I've got time to schedule or more time to notify the next trade in line or the next subsequent trades. So all that to be said is that I've gotten a hold of them now. I actually went down, I've sent a couple texts, a couple emails, things like that. Nothing, just radio silence. They're supposed to get back to me last week with the date to complete or do like phase 2 of their installation for the DSSP. What that is the actual running from the mid manhole off to the front manhole. So they had that, and then also running off to the front buildings to catch the downspouts. So anyway, pretty simple stuff, but at the same time, it's stuff that has to be done before I can backfill. So, and I've got framers on there, and nobody likes framing a house without backfill. And so framers are doing me a solid, really, by carrying on and, just being troopers about the whole thing. So I really appreciate that. But we ended up, we finally got a hold of them. So I went down to their office. They were open, or at least somebody was there. So I went and spoke with the guy. I said, hey, look, I don't know what's going on between us or like what the issue is, but like, if you can't do it, that's fine if you can't do it that day, but I need to know. Like, communication needs to be key. You tell me, hey, Will, I can't make it until next Thursday. Everybody's gone. I got everybody's, something's broken, whatever the case may be. There's 4 jobs in front of you, and I really need to get those done. I'm not going to be happy, but I'm going to know, right? So that's the big thing. I made it pretty clear to them that, like, that's what I need is good, effective communication. Later on that afternoon, a machine showed up. It's parked there now. They're going to start doing the backfill, at least the portion of the backfill that can be done without the completion of phase 2 of the DSSP. They're going to do all that backfill. They're going to do the DSSP on Monday and Tuesday to wrap it up, and then they're going to start backfilling with the machine that's there. Should all be done by end of day Wednesday. Boom. So that's like, what, the 7th? January 7th, completely backfilled, DSSP complete. Main floor walls will probably be done on a minimum of one of the buildings. Or at least the external walls, on both. So it's really good. It's moving along well. I've got all my permits for plumbing, all my permits for mechanical, and all my permits for electrical are all in now, which is excellent news. So really excited there. What else as far as the development goes? There's something else. It escapes me. But all that to say, 2025 has ended up being a really good year. It's a lot of work came into it, but it's all being rewardful. It's rewarding, all of it. So thanks for starting to watch this. I hope that you guys all stick around for the whole remainder of the build. It is pretty interesting. I mean, at least I find it interesting. Somebody else might think it's paint drying, but if you got any questions, ask me. I mean, I don't mind. So actually I prefer it. Not only does it give me a nice subject matter, but gives me a little bit of engagement. And it's just generally, it's fun to do this and to be able to share my experiences. So anyways, Happy New Year to everybody. I really wish you guys all the best in 2026. It's going to be a big year for us and for Broch Builders. My family's going to have a big year next year as well. And I hope that your families are all having a great 2026 as well. So enjoy your time and have a happy new year and be safe. And we'll talk to y'all soon.